Bitcoin and Ethereum, what's his next move? Let's find out in the chart, shall we? Oh man, well, we've created a little bit of a W here. You can see that Bitcoin has created some sort of a W on the lower time frames and wants to break out and break out higher, probably all the way up to the 78.6. But we're going to talk about where that is and how that's basically just a hammer, as the price will come back down and hammer us down. And we're going to talk about that and more in today's episode. Oh boy, not a good sight for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hopefully, because everything is not a 100% guaranteed when you're doing chart analysis. Everything you study, everything you learn, right? There's no 100% guarantee that it's going to work out in the future. So we can only hope that the technical analysis is wrong this time. But so far we have to go with what are the probabilities and what is the most likely scenario to play out, and go with that, not what we want to have happen. And what we want to have happen is Bitcoin go to the moon. But that's not the case here. And so we have to accept it. We have to trade it, right? And that's the way it is. And if you're interested in trading it, you can do so by heading over to bybit.davincij15.com or femex.davincij15.com. All right, so let's get on to the charts and see how bad this thing is. Well, as I was saying, right, we're coming back up above to the 61.8 was the most likely target. Came close to it, probably haven't hit it yet. Maybe we'll come back up and spook the bears, and just wipe out the bears who tried to get in too quickly, and then it's just going to roll over. But we could be rolling over right here because we're above the 13 AMA on the 4-hour, and we are not showing any strength here. So it's a toss up on which way to go. So you'd have to go down to the shorter time frames to see if you can find any kind of trade. You can see there was a little bit of a W that's reversed on you, and it's trying to wipe you out. That's not a good sign, but that doesn't mean that we are actually going to be breaking down. Could be a failed move because fast move in the opposite direction. We could end up coming back down and going higher. Most likely, we're setting up to wipe out both the bulls and the bears. At this moment in time, probably some of the bulls have set stop losses at that level, which makes sense, and we're probably coming to get them before we go a little bit higher. That is the most likely scenario. Just to go and give the hopes for the bulls before the hammer comes down. There is very little to support a positive outcome for this. Right, so you have to accept what it is on the charts and trade it as best you can. Looking at the hourly, you can see again the W was clear here. We didn't even make to our target here, and we're actually coming back to 13 MA, which is surprising, but this is the way the price action is going, because the W's and M's don't work 100% of the time. No trading strategy does, so that means you have to only trade with 5% of the maximum, lose only 5% of your total portfolio that you have deposited in the exchange in order to avoid being wiped out on a bad trade that goes the wrong way, because it can go the wrong way. Alrighty, so with that said, if you're interested in trading, you can head over to a new exchange that I'm going to be supporting. It's called ApolloX. You can get a $700 USDT bonus by signing up over there. Just head over to referrals, located at davincij15.com/referrals, and you can also join there as well. So, alrighty, let's head over to Ethereum and see that. It's pretty much exactly what I was thinking. Yesterday, we were going to come back up to the 13 EMA. The 13 EMA. We're at 13 EMA, so Are we going to go blowing through to higher levels to the $39,000 level or $3,966 level? Looks like it's the most likely scenario, not guaranteed. There's a lot of resistance. Well, now it was support, now it's turned to resistance. And we're probably going to hit that. If we come up here, we're probably going to hit that and then fail. Looking down at the shorter time frame, you can see that we just poked above the ribbons here, and that doesn't mean that if it stays above the ribbon, it means that we're going higher, but we're not holding it. We're not holding it all. We got to hold the 13 EMA at the very least to see Ethereum continue to go higher on the hourly. Really bad, not so great. The looking here on the charts. We can see Ethereum wants to roll over and die. There doesn't seem to be any kind of trade right now. I'm waiting for Ethereum to come back down, and I'm going to go with the longer time frames on this, since we can't find any shorter trade time frames. And as you can see, let's go with a fib retracement. We were talking about this the other day. We're at we hit the Hail Mary level, which is if I was in a trade, this is where I would have wanted taken it. The Hail Mary level would have been a nice one to buy Ethereum at. I missed that one, and yeah, I would be putting my stop losses at the break even. If we come back here, odds are we're probably going to break the lower levels here at the $3,465. Wow. It's not pretty, not pretty at all. And so I'm not opening up a trade until we actually come down to this secondary resistance level, which is the $3,370 level, which is where we might see some resistance before we actually continue higher. Once again, right, when you see these wicks, this means that there's a lot of buying power down here. So there will probably be a lot of, when this comes down, there'll probably be a large number of red or green candles down here. That means there's a lot of buying pressure, a lot of people buying, as well as people selling. So, because each seller has to come up with a buyer in order to sell to that person. And if there's people interested, and there's a lot of people interested, well, a lot of people are dumping into the market, then that means that it's going to be difficult for all those sellers to sell to every single person who wants one, because there's a limited number of Ethereum, and so eventually you're going to exhaust the sellers, and a lot of people who are buying down there, they're going to reverse the price up higher, because a lot of the sellers will get freaked out that, hey, wait a second, there's a lot of people willing to buy at this level. Maybe I shouldn't be selling there. Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be selling low, but most people don't understand that until they realize that there's a big mistake. So I'm looking to maybe set a buy order down lower here as well. So at the $3,370 level. Let's head over to the dominance, because I love the dominance, and nothing has changed much, right? With the dominance from yesterday, we are still probably going to head a lot higher. The dominance most likely up to 61.8, right? And where this is the 44.5 level, meaning that we're going to probably reverse the trend here on the crypto bubbles. So, which is fine, right? We're seeing a lot of positive actions, but that can't go on forever. I was hoping it would be at the beginning of a new cycle, a special type of cycle for crypto altcoins, but not quite. Well, with that said, right, we used a little lady strategy we don't like to price things in Bitcoin and dollars, right? Because if we did that, I'm sure everything will look very rosy. Oh wow, I'm surprised. Wow. Very surprised. Everything is not rosy in other currencies. Let's see here. Ruble. Okay, I guess that is not the case. Okay, well, looks like everything's getting hit, but who cares? I'm looking to own more Bitcoin, not dollars. Why is that? Because, well, eventually Bitcoin's going to be the money. There is no stopping that event from happening. It is 1,000 times better than the money you're using because it doesn't lose value over time. You're like, well, wait a second, price is going down. Well, yes, we're still in the stage of price discovery of what the money should cost for Bitcoin, right? And because there's not everybody who agrees, there's like only probably about 5% of the population or less that agree with this. And you're like, well, that's not enough. Yes, it isn't enough. But eventually those people will come because they will learn that, hey, wait a second, I'm losing value as the inflation comes onto them. And then once the inflation hits them and they realize that they must do something, they will look at Bitcoin and say, hey, look at that. That's doing way better than what the money that I've got. And people are like being able to live wealthy and live well and pay for things. And so that's why I save in Bitcoin, right? And I just convert everything, I trade everything back into Bitcoin. So when I do the little old lady strategy, if you're interested in doing the little old lady strategy, you just head over here to davincicodes.net/videos. I always cash out into Bitcoin because, well, I understand that Bitcoin's real. Bitcoin's here to stay. And you definitely need to be a part of it. Thanks for watching.